We will start by logging in into the EC2 console, AWS console, and then going to Elastic Compute Services. We will create a virtual machine instance. We'll use the Amazon Linux 2 AMI 64-bit processor. We'll use the T2 micro instance type, which is free. We'll leave it to the default settings. We can add a tag for the name of the virtual machine. These are security groups which we will configure later on, and then we'll finally launch the virtual machine. This virtual machine is still pending to launch. We'll wait for a while. Until then, we will go to the folder where the private key of the virtual machine is located. We'll open the terminal. The virtual machine is now in ready state. We will connect to the virtual machine using a SSH client. We'll copy the command and paste it in the terminal. We'll type yes. We have SSH'd into our virtual machine. Now we will log in into the root user. Now we are the root user of the virtual machine. Now what we have to do is to install Apache Tomcat. But before it we have to do a few configurations, like we'll install Java 1.8 using the command yum install Java version 1.8 star. Till it is getting installed, we can go to the Apache Tomcat website. We can download this 8. We can download the 8.5 release of Tomcat. These are the binary distributions. You can download the tar.gz distribution. For the time being, we will copy the link address. We'll wait until Java is getting installed. The installation of Java is complete. Now we'll go to the opt folder. We will download the tar.gzip file of Apache Tomcat using the wget command. The file has been downloaded. Now we'll extract the file using tar command. So tar-zdxf and then the version of Tomcat which we downloaded. So now this was the tar.gz file which we downloaded. Then this is this extracted version of Apache Tomcat. So we'll cd into this. folder. So it has various directories. We will go to the bin directory. Then again ls the files. So it has one startup.sh file and a shutdown.sh file. The startup.sh file will be used to start the Tomcat server, while the shutdown.sh file will be used to stop the Tomcat server. But first we have to make these files executable, so we will use the chmod command plus x .sh. Similarly, we will make the shutdown.sh file executable. Now we will echo the path variable. So path variable is basically the environment variable where the terminal looks for binaries and executables, and if it is found, then the command gets executed. So what we will basically do is we will create a symlink or a soft link of the startup.sh and shutdown.sh file inside the path folder and give it a name so that these becomes commands rather than executable scripts. So we'll start by using ln-S, then you use /opt/ Apache folder /bin /startup.sh, and we'll create it in the user bin directory by the name of Tomcat up. The small s instead of capital S. That's why we were getting that error. Now we will use similarly we will create the symlink for Tomcat down. So these two scripts have now become shell commands, so we can test them by writing Tomcat up. So yes, the Tomcat server has started. Similarly, we can use Tomcat down and the server has stopped. For the time being, we will start the server. And then we will curl localhost 8080 to test it. Yes, we got the output. So we can curl the localhost 8080 to get the output, but to get the output using an external IP, what we have to do is to allow traffic from port 8080 inside the virtual machine. So what we will do is we'll go to the AWS console. So we'll go to the AWS console, we'll go to the EC2, again to the EC2 management console. Then we will click on our Tomcat instance. And explore. We'll go to the networking tab and click on the security group. And we will edit the inbound rules. We'll add a rule to allow port 8080 from all IPv4 addresses. This is a Tomcat port and we'll save the inbound rule. Now what will happen is, now we'll be able to reach the Tomcat server using an external IP from the browser. So we'll go to the public IPv4 address of the VP virtual machine. Copy the address. We'll use HTTP instead of HTTPS, and we'll go to port 8080. So we are able to access our Tomcat server, but there are still a few configurations left. Now what we have to do is to get administrative or manager access to this Tomcat server. So to do it, we have to follow the following procedure. As it is written over here, we have to edit the context.html files of the manager and the host. So what we will do is, we will find the location of those files using the find command. First we will go to the root, then we will find cd find / name tag, name flag, and context.html.xml. These are the files. We have to edit the host manager file and the manager file. We will take them one by one. We will use the nano text editor and paste the location of those files. Now what we have to do is, we have to comment this value tag. So I will comment those tags using the semantics. Now I will save this file and exit it. Similarly I will do with the manager context.html file. I will comment the value tag. Just to cross check the changes. Now when I will refresh this tab, I have changed the manager configuration. I will cross check the host manager configuration. I have commented out the value tag here as well. Now it asks me for a username and a password. Now to have the username and the password, I will have to create the users. To create the users, first I will go to the config folder. Then it has a file called tomcatusers.xml. I will have to edit this file and create users in this file. So I will again open the nano text editor and I will edit tomcat-users.xml. So I have been given some mock users, but I will not use those users. First I will create a few roles. First role is the manager GUI role. This will grant you access to the manager GUI. Then I will create the manager script role. Then I will create the manager JMX role. Then I will create the manager status role. I have created the roles. Now I will create users and assign them those roles. So my first user will be the admin user. The password will be admin itself. And the roles will be, I will assign the admin user all the roles: manager, GUI, manager script, manager JMX, manager status. Then the next user will be the password will be deployer itself, and we'll use the Tomcat script manager script role for this user. And the last user will be named as Tomcat. You can use any username and password, that really depends upon you. The password may be S3CRET, any password is valid, and the role will be manager GUI. Now what you have to do is save this file. So you have created the Tomcat users. Now you will go back to your Tomcat page and write the last user that you created, and you get access to the Tomcat Manager Web UI application. So that's pretty it from the Tomcat side. Now we'll create a CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins. So first you have to install Jenkins on Ubuntu. I've already installed Jenkins, so you can choose whichever OS you are working on. So I use these 4 commands to install Jenkins. Now what I have to do is to start Jenkins. So I will start Jenkins using these commands. I will open a new terminal window. I will enter my password. This is my system password. And Jenkins daemon has loaded. Then I will start Jenkins using this command, and then check the status of Jenkins to check whether Jenkins is working or not. Yeah, Jenkins is active. Now I will navigate to localhost 8000. I guess it's 8080. password, sign in into Jenkins. So first of all, what I will do is I will go to manage Jenkins and I will install a few plugins. So I will go to manage plugins. The plugins that I will install are, firstly it is Maven tools. So I will search for Maven in the available plugins. So I've already installed one plugin, which is Maven integration plugin. So you also download that. Then one plugin is deploy to containers, which I have installed. Deploy to container plugin. These two plugins are not default plugins and they will be required to build the pipeline. So let's create a new pipeline from here. One more thing, what you will need to do is to create a new, go to global tools configuration and just see whether the paths are set correctly. So JDK installation is here, it will install automatically from Oracle if you have already installed it. I have said that if you have installed you can set a path, then get installation, then Maven installation is important. Really keep it to default default if you have not installed these things, right? Then go to manage credentials, and I have already created a credentials. You can click here and create one for your own. Just go to add credentials and create one. So I have already created the credentials, and the credentials are the scope will be global, username is deployer. This is the same Tomcat user that we put in the Tomcat users.xml file. ID is Tomcat credentials and the password is deployer, right, as we set up in that file. I will go back to the dashboard. This was a sample build that I created. I will create it from scratch, but to show you the configurations for once. So I will be using this GitHub repository. Rest all is general, which I will walk through once again with you all. Right. So let's go to the dashboard. Go to new item. I will create a Maven project and the name will be test Maven pipeline. Okay. Now I have to lay down the configuration. You can write any description. So Maven pipeline to build Tomcat server on AWS EC2. Then it is a GitHub project. The project URL is this. If you we can go to this website and check the folder structure. So it contains a pom.xml file which basically lays down the deployment instructions. It has two modules, web server and the web app. Then it installs the plugins. Then it has dependencies. It will install the dependencies and then it will finally connect to this GitHub repository and push the changes to the Tomcat server. So all these configurations are laid down in this project. Then the source code management tool is GitHub, and I will add the credentials which I have already created over here. Those are the deployer credentials, right? Then we have to go to the master branch of the GitHub repository. Then we have to use the pom.xml files, and the goals are to clean, then install the dependencies, and then package the entire product. Right. Then I will add build steps. So it is not then I will add post build actions, right? And my action will be to deploy var here to a container. So I will click on the help and I will copy this var path as it is. So it is a var file which will contain the configurations, and as it is visible from deploy to container plugin, which I have told you to install, right? We'll leave the container path as it is. Then we will use Tomcat 8. The credentials will be same deployer, and the Tomcat URL is the URL of our virtual private cloud, which is this. So this is the URL. I guess that's pretty much it. Just a review of the configurations. Clean install package, run regardless of the build result. Then we have to build the var files, credentials, and the Tomcat URL, right? And then we will click on save. So we have created a pipeline, and now we will build the pipeline. As it is visible, the build has started. So let's go to the console and check the build output. So it has fetched the Git repository. It has referenced the JDK version and the Maven versions. It has established your TCP socket on 41329 port number, and now it is executing Maven. It is installing the dependencies now. There might be some error in the configuration, so let's review it. So I will again go to my pipeline, then I will go to configure, and it said it wasn't able to find the var file. So let's go to the path. Yes, this is incorrect. We have to write the correct var path, which is //star.var. So we'll save the configurations again, and then we'll again build the pipeline. So the third build has started. Let's go to console output and wait for the build to succeed. The procedure repeats. Now the dependencies are getting installed. And as it is visible, the pipeline is successful. Now we will go back to our virtual machine we'll log in as the root user. We'll go to the opt folder, then we'll go into the Apache folder. Now another folder called web apps will be created over here, so we'll cd into web apps, and there is a web app.war file which is the reason it was deployed. Right, to test the deployment, what we have to do is we have to go to /web apps route and we'll see the output. So we'll go to web apps route, I guess it's web app, and we can see the output of hello world, which was a Maven project built on GitHub. The Jenkins pipelines build the Maven project and push it to the Tomcat server. So I guess that's it. That's the complete configuration including Jenkins. If you need any help for installing Jenkins, you can refer any YouTube video for it. The process is simply straightforward, and the pipeline, as you can see, is successful. It is a main project and it has two sub-modules, which is a server and a web app, and that's it. Now we can do a cleanup of the resources that we created. So if you want, you can shut down the Tomcat instance to save your builds. So you can terminate the instance or stop the instance for it. So let's better stop the instance to preserve its configurations. So it has been stopped, so we will not be built for our resources anymore. Then if you want, you can log out from Jenkins as well. That's it from my side. Thank you.